I'm like extremely nasally right now. Hey guys, it's Lexi and I am back like I promised, finally sticking to a schedule. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, it's only been 2 videos. It's a super gloomy day today. It's really dark and rainy and I think a thunderstorm is rolling in, and it just kind of represents the funk I've been in lately. I haven't been reading or journaling or doing really anything productive, anything that I like to do. I've just been feeling blech. So on this gloomy day, I've decided to pull myself out of this funk and film a video. I want to talk about the things that I learned in high school. I obviously am a completely different person than I was freshman year, and for any of you who have seen my first videos, you know that. I had originally started this channel as a beauty channel, and I know nothing about beauty and I don't care for makeup or hair or anything like that, so I don't really know why. I kind of wanted to be like Bethany Moda, but that's not who I am anymore. I mean, if you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I've changed a ton over the years. I started my channel, you know, at the gates of this, you know, new journey where change is inevitable. Everyone changes in high school, and, you know, you kind of find yourself, you start to hang out with people who more represent you and just like you want to be with. And you know, I've really, like, I know it sounds like really stupid, but I've found myself over these past 4 years, and I am a lot more happy with the content that I'm making now because I feel like it better represents me. And you know, that's just one of the many things that I've learned in high school. I want to share with you guys what I've learned today. So as I was saying, the first thing that I learned in high school is that it's okay to change. I kind of went through an identity crisis last year, junior year of high school. That was actually 2 years ago. Oh my god. I just had no idea who I was. I felt like a different person every, you know, few months. I was, you know, super into Five Sauce, but then I was really into Fifth Harmony. Then I got super into reading, and then I dropped that, and I got super into journaling, and I would just like, basically I had a very obsessive personality. I would find one thing that I liked and I would obsess over it, and then when I got bored with it, I'd move on to the next thing, and I felt like I was being fake. Like I didn't know who I was, like I wasn't doing what truly made me happy. And I've come to realize that I was doing things that made me happy. It's just I was doing them obsessively. And, you know, once I exhausted one thing, I moved on to another. And, you know, I've learned now I'm not as obsessive now. I kind of blend everything that I like together. I don't feel like I'm fake for changing opinions of different types of music that I like, or genres of books, or anything like that. Movies, I don't know, fashion. My fashion has definitely changed over the years. Just this past year, senior year, I started wearing sweatpants. I had like never worn sweatpants to school before, and I remember the first time I did it, I felt so scared. I felt like people were gonna judge me because that wasn't me. I didn't wear sweatpants. No one said anything. Tons of people wear sweatpants to high school, and then they turn around and wear dresses when they have to dress up, you know, for sport events. Like, it's normal and it's okay, and I can wear whatever I want. And I realized that after that like identity crisis that I had, I felt a lot better knowing that, you know, I could be who I wanted to be, when I wanted to be, and there was nothing wrong with that. I wasn't being fake. I wasn't, you know, being someone I'm not. I was just doing things that I liked. Number 2 is to not obsess over what people think of you, and I am still kind of guilty of that. I'm not gonna lie. Truth be told, if I don't know what someone thinks about me, I obsess over it, and I wonder what, like, do they hate me? Do they love me? Like, what's going on in their head? Once I know if someone likes me or hates me, I don't care, but it's that, like, uncertainty of, like, how do you feel about me that, like, stresses me out. But, I've gotten a lot better with this. I remember specifically freshman and into sophomore year, I was really scared of going to school in the winter. My parents, they love me very, very, very much, and they used to be very protective. Now they've definitely lessened up, but they used to force me to wear these big poofy coats and hats and gloves going into school every single morning, even though they were dropping me off and I was just outside for 2 seconds, and I used to be so embarrassed by it. And truth be told, I was cold and I did need those layers, but I was just like, no one else is wearing winter coats and hats and gloves and scarves. No one's doing that. And I felt so self-conscious about it. I thought everyone was looking at me and thinking, why is she doing that? She's so weird. I was just so scared of what people would think of me walking into school with a coat on. And that, I know that sounds ridiculous. And it really does to me now, because this past year I walked in every single day in the winter with a long winter coat, a hat and gloves, and I was rubbing my hands all the way walking up to first period. Like, I was cold. I am cold. I get cold easily, and if I want to wear a winter coat, I don't care. I didn't, you know, obsess over if people were watching me walk in, you know, in this huge winter getup. I didn't care. I was cold and I needed layers. I had a gym teacher freshman and sophomore year who is a very, very wonderful, wonderful woman. And she said something basically along the lines of, people are too busy looking at themselves to look at you. While you are fixing your hair in the mirror and touching up your lipstick or whatever it is, the person next to you is doing the exact same thing. And they're not dissecting your outer appearance like they are theirs. They're not, you know, making sure that your hair is pin straight and that your outfit is perfect. I think about that all the time, and whenever I find myself worrying about what I look like, I think, hey, no one's really watching me as intensely, as closely as I think they are, and I'm fine. Number 3 is that you actually do have to work really hard in life. I got a much more realistic view of the world, both on my anxiety and mental health, and, you know, on the real world, the outside world, as us students refer to it as. You know, I started going to therapy in high school, and I learned pretty quickly that it wasn't going to be a session once a week where I just spill how I'm feeling and like what my friends are doing, what I think they think of me. No, you actually have to like work hard. Anxiety is not an excuse to stay home. It's not an excuse to not get a job or not be productive or not be an active member of society. It definitely makes it harder, but it's not an excuse. And I used to think it was. I used to hide away and say, well, my anxiety is bad. But you know, I didn't realize that I actually have to work to get that better. I started doing exposure therapy, which is basically doing things that like scare the crap out of you, you know, just to like be able to overcome that fear, to be able to have a set example of like, hey, I did this and I was fine, so I can do it again. And I've been working on my anxiety a lot, really hard, and it's been really difficult. You know, I have had panic attacks. It's hard. But you know, I now know that you have to work to make it better. You can't just sit back and, you know, take some meds and it'll be fine. You have to work to make it better. It will never go away. You just need to learn to live with it, and you need to work to do that. I got a job senior year, and it really put into perspective the outside world. I learned very quickly that you have to work for the money that you earn. You know, it's not gonna come to you on a YouTube channel. I remember freshman year, I just thought that everything was gonna be fine and I was gonna become YouTube famous and I wouldn't have to go to college, I wouldn't have to do anything, but that's just not true. I have had this job for, you know, over 9 months now, and it has really put into perspective, you know, the kind of work ethic that I need to be able to make it. I need to have a job to make money, and I need to make money to be able to go to school, and I need to go to school to get an education, to get, you know, a big girl job and make more money. And that's just how the world is. And I may not like it. I may not like working in retail. I don't think anyone does, but you have to do it. And that is something I never would have thought freshman year. I really have gotten a much more realistic view of the world, and it is sadder, but it's healthier. You know, it is a lot healthier now that I know that I have to work for myself and for my future. Number 4, it kind of goes along with number 1 with the change, but I have really like found myself a lot more. I'm still working on it. I think no 18-year-old knows exactly who they are in the world, but I have improved a lot. I've learned what I like, what I don't like, who I want to spend time with, who I'm gonna push to the side, and it's really helped me a lot. I feel better, knowing that I'm doing things that make me happy and not doing things because other people want me to do them. My whole life, I thought I was gonna go into the medical field. I first wanted to be a nurse, then I wanted to be a psychotherapist, and then I wanted to be an ultrasound technician, and I was looking at all the years of school and the kind of classes I would have to take, and I realized I don't want to do that. And I realized I was doing it because, that's what other people expected of me. Ever since, middle school, when I thought I was going to be a nurse, people just expected me to stay in the medical field. But I don't want to be in the medical field. I am now going to be an English major starting in the fall. And that is something that I have been so passionate about my whole life. I have always read. I've always loved, loved, loved writing. When I was really small, I would, grab printer paper, fold it up into a million pieces and write, little books. And, that's something that I still love to do. Not writing the little books, but just like English in general. I've always loved my English classes, and I find it so fascinating and exciting, and I'm really excited to do that. I'm really proud of myself for learning who I am, and now the sun's coming out, so my lighting is gonna change. Just doing things is so much better than putting them off or just not doing them. I used to be terrified of having a job. My parents bugged me for months and months and months to go out and get a job, and because of my anxiety, I thought that I'd never be able to. I thought that I couldn't function. But I applied online to a store. I went in for the interview. I got the job, and here we are, like 10 months later, and I still have the job, and I'm a lot more social, I'm a lot healthier, a lot happier, and I've learned to manage my anxiety so well because of this job. This job has brought me so many good things, and while I may hate it because it is retail, I am so glad that I got it. Speaking up in class when you know the answer, talking to people that you want to talk to, and going out with your friends, just do those things because you will be so much happier. You will feel better. You will be more productive because you're not just sitting at home procrastinating and getting nothing done. Just overall, it will just be better if you just do it. And with the anxiety portion of it, with the exposures that I've been doing, just going out and doing things that makes me anxious, it has brought so much positivity to my life. It has made me, less anxious overall. I mean, the anxiety is definitely still there. It's just now I know how to manage it, and I have examples of, times where I've done things that scared me and I turned out just fine. It ultimately just is so much better if you do whatever you need to do and get it over with. Don't throw your life away. When you're in high school, you are at an age where the mistakes you make, your actions do matter, and you do have real consequences because of them. And I know it doesn't seem like that because it is in high school, but if you don't do any of your homework and don't study at all and, party instead of applying to college, you won't get into college. And obviously people can survive without going to college, like that's totally fine. There are definitely other ways like YouTube and, especially now with the internet, you don't have to go to college to be successful. But people just don't do anything to progress their lives. And again, going back to my realistic view, I know that I have to work hard to make a living, and some people just don't get that. Some people are still in the mindset that they're kids, they're not legally adults, and they don't have to take care of themselves. Whatever they do isn't, you know, really that bad. It can be bad, and it is really important to be careful. Definitely have fun. I'm not saying don't have fun, but be careful. That is the stuff that I've learned in high school. There definitely is a lot more. I just, you know, that's all that I can think of at the moment. But yeah, I have changed and grown a lot, and I'm really proud of the person that I am today. And I am still changing and growing, and I'm gonna learn tons and tons and tons of stuff about myself and the world in college. Maybe I'll make another video after that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. And comment below if you guys learned anything in high school or middle school, or if you graduated from college. I don't know, just tell me what you guys have learned from school in general. You know, especially at my age, it's like I just came out of this stage where I've learned so much, and I want to know what you guys have learned. And yeah, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!